Now then YouTube, I'm the Tough Man, and welcome back to some more Thaumcraft and Botania Unite. Well, it's more like a precursor actually to episode 36. Call this episode 35B or something like that. I don't know what I'm going to call it. I would like to show you guys what I've been working on in my creative world without taking up the time of a normal episode. Really, I want to show you what is going to be coming up in my series, and explain how this actually works, because I'm sure people will want to know how to be able to do this as well. Here is a failed attempt. I have to say, this one is a totally failed attempt. This one is better. And not only that, guys, Project Red will be making headway into my series as well, but only only this stuff. You know, the timer, the logic circuits, basically. It just makes things a hell of a lot easier. And takes up less space. However, this kind of setup that I've got right here can be made entirely through vanilla as well. You just have to do a little bit of trickery with normal redstone and how you get the gates and stuff like that. But basically, we've got some timers, we've got some repeaters, and these are basically things that you can get within Minecraft. You know, just normal vanilla stuff. So you don't need to worry about, oh, can I do this with vanilla? It's entirely possible that you can do this with vanilla. It's literally a TNT Autocrafter. This is what it is. This is what it is. It took me hours. I kid you not, guys. It took me hours. And I'm going to explain exactly how I did it. Of course, like I said, this one is a failed one. And yeah, it was just really annoying. I'm no good with you know, vanilla redstone. I'm no good with redstone, so to get it like this is good for me. I'm sure that somebody out there will be able to do a spot on, even better one than what I've done, but this is for the purposes of you guys and YouTube. I haven't found one online, so I'm going to go out and put my little design out there, and I challenge people to make it better, because that's what it's all about, really. So let's start with the beginning item, which is, of course, the crafty crate. This will allow you to auto-craft items so long as they go in a particular order. And the order that we wanted was a TNT. I want to be able to craft TNT. Now, the problem is, it doesn't exactly work properly. If I was to drop one item at a time into a hopper, into the crate, I will end up with gunpowder, sand, gunpowder, sand, gunpowder, sand, gunpowder, sand, gunpowder, and then it would be back to sand again. And this is a problem. Obviously, I don't want that to happen. I want an extra gunpowder. I want gunpowder, sand, gunpowder, sand, gunpowder, sand, gunpowder, sand, and then an extra gunpowder before it then starts the cycle over again. Gunpowder, sand, gunpowder, sand. And it took me ages to try and figure this out. Okay, I had at one point, I had things dropping out one gunpowder, and then the next thing, I had a full row of things just dropping stuff out, like one after another. But this way is just so much easier. Now let me start at the top here. This is what is powering it. I mean, literally, it's just keeping everything on so that it doesn't actually start until I get rid of this redstone torch. So, for example, this is a lever. Which is probably what it's going to be when it's actually in the world. I can just flick the lever and it'll turn the system on. What happens is, obviously, the redstone current travels down here. It goes into this first. Now, it's got a timer delay, you can just see on the bottom right hand side there with Whaler, of 7,000 milliseconds, so basically 7 seconds. It has a timer delay of 7 seconds. Every 7 seconds this will tick when it hasn't got this redstone signal to it. Every 7 seconds it will drop out one piece of gunpowder. I want to also drop out one piece of sand. However, I don't want to do that at exactly the same time. So this is what the repeater is for. It delays the redstone signal by 32 ticks and then comes into this one, which is another timer on 7 seconds. And there you are, sand. So what will happen, it was a click, drop a gunpowder, click, drop sand. The original signal will still carry on down here, another 32 tick delay, and then into the final timer, which is 28 seconds. And then that will drop the extra gunpowder, the one thing that, you know, I need at the end of the TNT recipe. It's mega important, this, guys, and this took me a while to actually figure out the reason why it was doing this. If the end one is not divisible by 4, of the rest of the ones, if that makes sense, because obviously 7,000, I'm doing 4 different recipes. This could be 5 seconds, for example. This one would have to be 20. Do you know what I mean? It has to, be divisible by 4, otherwise it just will not work, because eventually, if I had this at 27 seconds, for example, I do 4 recipes at 7 seconds apiece, and then this one at 27 seconds, so it will be 1 second faster than what it should be. And then it'll start the cycle again, 7 seconds, 7 seconds, 7 seconds, and then it'll come to this one, it's already 1 second fast, but it will put another 1 second on top of that, so it'll end up being 2 seconds fast. And eventually, what will happen, guys, is down here you will end up with it getting clogged up, because the crafty crate gets one item wrong somewhere along the line, because it's just, you know, it's gone wrong. This one needs to be 28 seconds. The other two need to be 7 seconds. Otherwise, it just won't work. So it will do 4 drops of gunpowder and sand, and then do 1 extra drop after these 2 have gone of that 1 extra gunpowder to finish off the TNT, this extra gunpowder. And then, of course, it will all reset, go back to the start, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then the extra gunpowder again. And that's basically how it drops. Now, there's a hopper hock here, ready and waiting to pick these things up. I've done it purposely slow, 7 seconds, because I would like these things to not get backed up. I don't want things to go too quickly in towards the hopper hock, because it will take a while for them to actually pick the items up. So I left it at 7 seconds. It seems alright to me. It seems fast enough. Now there is some item frames on the side, but these aren't needed unless you've got other things around that are dropping somewhere. They aren't needed, but I put them there anyway, just to make sure that all they pick up is sand and gunpowder. Originally, with that kind of thing there, it was also picking up the TNT that was already made, so, and then trying to put that into the crafty crate. That's not going to work at all. So they're going to come, the items are going to come into this chest in order, then going to get dragged out by the hopper in order, and then into the crafty crate also in order. And when that final piece comes through here, it will create a TNT. The TNT will drop into the hopper and then end up in this chest here. Shall we take a look and see how it's done? We've got some gunpowder in there, we've got some sand in there, we've got some gunpowder in there. Let's take a look. So let's turn this on. So you can see that timer has now started. There's the first gunpowder. There's the first sand. It should pick them up in order. Yep, like that. And then it'll do another 3 of them drops every 7 seconds. There's another one. And another one. So we'll have 1 more, and then exactly in the middle of all of them will be another extra gunpowder. Wait for it. There it is. And it picks them up in order and crafts. I should craft TNT. Oh, it already has done. I just missed it. That was all. But basically this, guys, it's a TNT creator. You can create TNT with this. Now, eventually what I'm going to do in my Let's Play series is I'm going to come ahead and get this taken out of here. Maybe a golem's going to come along, pick it up, walk off with it, and then put it down somewhere so that I can then set that alight into an entrepinium. I think that was another one right there. Is it doing it? I must have gone wrong somewhere. There must have already been one in here, because I was testing it out earlier on as well. So let me turn that all on. It definitely does work, guys. I promise you. It took me hours to be able to do this. It does work. I can promise you that. It's probably just because there's some stuff stuck in there. There is. Alright, just to make sure that's all free. Again, there's nothing else kicking around in any of these. Good. Let's turn that on. So then it can all start again. And that's how you do it. Now, what you can do is have a little creeper farm somewhere that automatically feeds that in with gunpowder or whatever. You can with Botania, you can get a cobblestone into sand alchemy recipe, so that's pretty easy to get hold of as well, guys. And will allow you to just basically get, if you've got them farms in order, it will get you an infinite amount of TNT. As long as those farms are creating more than what's actually being used, you'll get an infinite amount of TNT, guys. And that will, of course, like I said, feed into an entrepinium. You set it on, you set it alight, it blows up, it creates all of that mana, and there is a lot of mana right there, guys. It will create a lot of that mana, and then all of that will eventually, for me, it will go into creating that orchid farm, which I cannot wait to do. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've been wanting to try to do something to autocraft something to get mana to be able to feed my orchid in a separate, entirely separate farm. So that's what I've been wanting to do for a while. What is going on with this? Why are you being awkward? Right. There must be some stuff stuck somewhere. Must be. Unless I pressed something by accident. I think it's 32 ticks, 28, 7 and 7. Nope. Everything is exactly the same as what I did when I tested this earlier. Huh. Yeah, no, everything's absolutely fine. Why are you being awkward? I will never know. It should pick, the hopper hock should pick the stuff up exactly as it's dropped on the floor. Which it is doing. So if you have a look in this hopper, there's the sand, look, wait for it, gunpowder. There it is, sand. Then the extra gunpowder, yep. Now another gunpowder. And then the sand. So it should be creating them, which it is. So what's the problem with you? Sand. Gunpowder. Sand. Everything's going okay. You know what? You don't watch it for 1 second and that's it. Everything goes wrong. Sand and then the gunpowder. There's the extra one. That should be 2 now. Gunpowder. Sand. That's going in. Yeah, 2 TNT. So it definitely does work, guys. I can promise you that. As long as you've got that one on 28 seconds and them on 7, it'll be absolutely fine. Because it will always drop at exactly the same time in relation to the other stuff. Otherwise, like I said, you'll end up, if you've got the values out a little bit, it'll end up going all over the place. And then you will end up with stuff going in left, right and centre that you don't want to go in at a particular order. And so on and so forth. So basically that should be now 3, there it is, 3 TNT. And there you go. You click it on, make sure it's chunk loaded or whatever if you're going to leave the chunk. Click it on, leave it, come back later on, you'll end up with a load of TNT. It works, honestly, guys, it does. It must have just had something stuck in a hopper or something that I'd just forgotten to take out somewhere along the line. But it definitely does work, I can promise you that. Sand and then the gunpowder. So there should be another one. And there we go. So yeah, there you go, guys. This is using Project Red. But like I said, by all means, you can use vanilla. That really doesn't make any difference whatsoever. A lot of people will be able to do it with vanilla, but I'm quite alright with doing it like this. And it looks like we've actually run out of gunpowder there. We have. So that's going to be the end of that. 4 TNT is all we can get. And of course, we can blow this up next to an entrepinium and create a load of mana for that. Now, don't forget, of course, it will not... You need to get rid of the mana out of the entrepinium before you can blow up another one, I think. Otherwise it'll blow up everything. It won't absorb the explosion. So I've got to figure out that part next, but I've got the basics right here, and I just wanted to show you guys this because this is what's going to be coming up in my episode in future. And rather than explaining it all on camera then, I might as well explain it all now so that, you know, 15 minutes of a normal episode is not actually wasted with me trying to explain what's going on. So anyway, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope it's been informational. Informational, is that even a word? Informative, and I really do hope that you can use this and maybe even make the design better, because I'm no whiz with redstone and stuff like that, and I'm sure that there's probably an easy way, much easier way of doing it, but this is what I've come up with after hours and hours of messing around. So I hope you're going to enjoy this, guys, and hopefully you're going to use it yourself. Until next time, I've been the Top Man as always. Stay safe.